Hi everyone, my name is Paige and I'm a registered dietitian at the Billings Clinic. Today we're going to talk about how we can turn leftovers into soup. During this time with quarantine and COVID-19, you probably are cooking a lot more, have more leftovers, and are probably getting sick of them. So the best way I've found to give new life to food you have left over is to turn it into a soup. This is great too because it can stretch. Maybe there's 4 of you and there's only 3 portions of your chicken, veg, rice. That can easily be soup for everyone. So what I have today are some of my leftovers. In here I have a pot of beans that we just didn't quite get through this week. Now what makes cooking with leftovers so great is that a lot of times they're already flavored really well. So these beans, they have tomato, onions, peppers, a little bit of white wine vinegar, and some Cajun seasoning. So this is gonna give a great flavor base to my soup. Chances are your meat or veggie that you have left over probably already have really great flavors, but you can always add onion, garlic, any of that stuff to make it a little more flavorful. I also have a little chicken I'm gonna throw in as well, and then to round it out, because I don't have any leftover vegetables this week, I'm gonna use some frozen broccoli. Frozen veggies are great in soups, and a little bit of Swiss chard that I also didn't get to. I'm using chicken stock. We love roast chicken in my family, so we always make chicken stock after we roast the chicken. You can use store-bought chicken stock, you can use water, you can use bouillon, whatever you have available. And then I have over here just a few what I call secret weapons. A lot of times if you're tasting your soup and it feels kind of flat, what you might need is either acid, like a vinegar, or some umami, which you can get with something most people have at home, which is soy sauce. So we'll taste our soup once we make it and see if we need any of these. All right, so now we have everything ready to go. All I did was I chopped up this Swiss chard and kind of opened all my things. So to make our soup, I'm gonna take any pot or pan that you have, any pot that you have, and I'm gonna turn it to kind of a medium-low, medium heat, and I'm gonna add kind of the bulk of my leftovers, which is some beans. And we're just gonna get that into our pan. All right, so this is done. I'm gonna just set this off to the side. And now we're gonna add our chicken as well, and our liquid, which in this case I have quite a bit of chicken stock that I'm just gonna pour in and sort of stir to combine. And you can kind of figure out how much liquid works for you. This looks just about perfect. If I need more, I can just add some water. And my beans are pretty well seasoned. This chicken stock is not, but I think we should have good flavor. If you were gonna add raw vegetables like broccoli or carrots or celery or onion, you'd wanna add those first and cook them down. These greens, they'll go in at the very end just to wilt down. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this go, come up to a simmer, and check back in. All right, it's been about 10 minutes and we have a nice simmer going. Now all we have left to do is add these things that'll cook really quickly, the frozen broccoli and this Swiss chard. You know, if you're cooking things from raw, again, you'll either want to cook them at the very beginning before you add any liquid or cooked things, or make sure that you're simmering a lot longer until everything is cooked through. So we have our chard. I'm just gonna add a pretty healthy amount of broccoli because I really like broccoli. That looks good. And we're just gonna let this again, I'm gonna heat it up just a little bit, come together and warm everything up. Everything we've done in this soup, because it really is all either leftovers or frozen or these really easy to cook greens, is already been cooked. So it's gonna come together really quickly, and that's really nice. As these kind of come together, we're gonna wanna stir it a little bit, help these greens kind of wilt down. Soup can be kind of scary at first, but I found it's incredibly forgiving, so it's a great use for leftovers. One thing that we do a few times a year with some friends is have a soup night where everybody brings something for the soup and we put it together, and it's always turned out great, even with a wide variety of foods. So even though we can't host soup nights just yet, it is a great way to use a variety of leftovers and even get kids involved. Letting them pick something that goes in the soup could be a fun way to make this enjoyable for the whole family. So this looks pretty good. I'm gonna give it a quick taste. It's always important to taste your food at least once to make sure the flavoring's right, the seasoning's right. See if you need to add anything, you know. This is pretty good. You might find that you need to add some more herbs and spices, maybe more water. One thing I am gonna do is add just a little soy sauce. You're not gonna taste it. It's not gonna taste like, you know, Chinese food, but what it will do is just give a little umami or kind of savoriness to round out our soup. And then the last thing I'm gonna add is just a splash of vinegar, which is just gonna add some brightness. And together, these are gonna make our soup just taste really good. And there you go. Simple, easy, and delicious way to reuse leftovers and kind of clean out your fridge.